so today's video is going to be my favorite blushes in my entire collection. I've been thinking about filming this video for quite a while, but one of my subscribers that has been watching me for a few years now actually requested this on one of my recent videos. Her name is Christine Olsen. She left a comment on my ranking all my eyeshadow palettes that I've tried so far in the year of 2022, which is a video that I always film halfway through the year. She wanted to see some of my favorite blushes as well, but again, like I said, I always rank my eyeshadow palettes that I try every year. I know I focus on eyeshadow palettes a lot, but you know, it's just finding the time to film about my blushes is a little bit difficult. So we're going to start out with ColourPop, of course, and I'm going to tell you guys my most worn ColourPop blushes in my collection, but not just in my collection, just in general. These are the ones I wear literally all the time when I don't know what blush to wear. These four are like my go-to picks. So I think the first three actually these might all not be available anymore on ColourPop. I'm sorry, but I wanted to share them with you guys and be honest and tell you guys what I've been using and what are my tried and true favorite blushes. So the first one is the Double Play Cheek Duo. I think I've talked about this numerous times on my channel before, but I haven't brought it up in quite a while. These were back when ColourPop did blush and highlight duos. I wish they would bring these back or do like an updated version of them. But I absolutely love this nude peach blush in here. It's like the perfect color for my skin tone. And it's such a pretty, it's not like too nude where it's like more brown, but it's also not too peach. It's just like a neutral peachy toned warm blush, and I absolutely love it. It's one of my all-time favorite blushes that I've had in my collection for a long time, and I whip this out all the time. I think I just used it like 2 weeks ago. Like, I end up using it at least I think once a month because I always love how it looks on my skin. It never fails me. I think that the older ColourPop blush formula was some of the best in the game. I feel like their formula kind of varies here and there now, which is a little bit annoying, but I think that they've been going back to their roots of really making their blushes really soft and smooth. But anyway, I absolutely love this one. I'm not going to swatch every single blush in this video because I'll be here for forever, but I just wanted to show you guys how pretty this color is. It's just such a good blush for everyday use. And again, when I don't know what to use, I always reach for this one. So that is the first one. And then I'm just going to mention all of these at once because this is my all-time favorite ColourPop blush formula. And it's so funny because it's also my all-time favorite eyeshadow palette from ColourPop that also came out in this collection. And the four blushes I really wanted to mention were the Zodiac blushes that they did with Kathleen Lights, and I picked up all four together because I just absolutely loved the undertones that she did for this collection. So it's these three up here and then this blush here. Look how gorgeous this is, this color. Like, are you kidding me? But of course, the one specifically I really wanted to mention was the nudie toned one, and this one has been one of my most worn blushes in my entire collection, and this one is called Lunar Has It. And this one is also a really beautiful peachy tone blush. It's a little bit lighter and a little bit more orangey than the Double Play blush, but again, I would be lying if I didn't say that that was one of my most worn blushes in my entire collection. And then the other one is called I Need Space, which is more of the like mauve toned one. But all of these in this collection are absolutely stunning. And this one is called I Need Space. And this one is more so of a mauve toned one. Again, I'm not going to swatch everything. I'm just going to swatch these three to start with because these are probably my most worn blushes in my entire collection. So that one is I Need Space. And the reason why I love this one so much is because it's more of like a toned down pinky neutral blush. And I absolutely love it. Of course, I also love the two more vibrant colors, but I really only whip these out in like the summertime, but they're so gorgeous on the skin. So this one is called So Retrograde, and this one is called My Sun and Stars. So Retrograde is like a gorgeous, vibrant orange color, and then this one is like a burnt, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so gorgeous, like a burnt orangey red. They're so beautiful. So I just wanted to mention this collection of blushes because I absolutely love them. So that is the second. Those are like my most worn blushes from ColourPop. And then the third most worn one that I have in my collection, I use this one all the time. I think I just used it like, was it yesterday or like a couple of days ago? I think a couple of days ago. This one is from their Celestial collection that they first did at Ulta, and then I think it came to ColourPop's website a little bit after that. And this one is the one from like that greenish packaged Celestial collection. They came out with like 2 eyeshadow palettes and like 2 blushes with one blush with each eyeshadow palette. So I picked up this blush from that collection, and this one is called Meteorite. And the reason why I love this one so much is that I think that this one is such a unique color because it's kind of more of like a pinky peach, but when you wear it, it's not that pinky tone, but it's not really that peachy tone either. It has such a unique undertone to it, and I wear this like constantly. This is one of my favorites as well. It's gonna be a little bit lighter when I swatch it, but that is Meteorite, and it's kind of more of like a pinkier peach, but I absolutely love it. And the formula on all of these are absolutely beautiful. They're very velvety smooth, very pigmented, but not like too pigmented that you have to be afraid of like putting too much on. It's just such a beautiful everyday blush for me. So I had to mention these ones first because I absolutely love them. And then the other two that I wear quite often, this one I wear a lot in the summertime, like spring and summertime, and this one is from the Garden Variety collection, and this one is called Tearing Up My Heart. And the reason why I really needed to get this is because it was named after a NSYNC song, which is Tearing Up My Heart, which was their first hit in the 90s. So I was like, as a 90s girl, I was like, I had to get it because it was called Tearing Up My Heart. But also, it's such a beautiful, again, neutral tone peachy shade. This one's more orangey toned, and this one's a really beautiful one to pair with any look in the spring and summertime. I love this because it's more of like a softer toned peachy color, and this has also been one of my favorites for a while. I've had this for a couple of years as well. Absolutely love this shade. And then the like last one that I wear a lot is the ColourPop Mulan blush, and this one is called Good Luck Charm, and this one is also a really pretty peachy tone blush, of course. Again, the packaging on everything is absolutely stunning, but especially on this collection, it was absolutely beautiful. I thought that the collection was better than the movie. Same thing about the Star Wars collection. I thought the Star Wars collection was better than the new movies. So this one is a really beautiful color as well because it's kind of more of like a warmer tone orangey peach color. And this one, again, is so gorgeous on the skin. So that's also one of my favorites. And I wore this constantly when I first got it. I still reach for it quite a bit. It's one of my favorite blushes to wear in general. Also, I'm just covering my favorite powder blushes in this video. I did count down all of my cream tone blushes. I'm not counting down in this video. I just wanted to mention my absolute favorite blushes and my favorite formulas that I love to wear and reach for constantly. There's also some new favorites in this video that I see myself wearing all the time. But these ColourPop blushes have definitely been my favorites for quite a while, and I absolutely love this one as well. It's such a pretty everyday blush as well. Okay, then like the last one that I wear on a daily, like on like more, when I don't know what blush to wear. This one is from the Midnight Masquerade collection. This is the Belle blush. This one is probably the most unique shade out of all the ones that I mentioned. This one is called Enchanted Mirror, and this one is such a beautiful blush because it's, again, kind of like it's like a peachy rose color. It's so beautiful on the skin. Also, the formula in the Midnight Masquerade collection is one of my favorites. You guys know this is like my all-time favorite Disney collection from ColourPop. They absolutely killed it with this collection, and I absolutely love the blushes that they came out with, especially this one, because it just looks so beautiful on your skin. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like completely matte, so it just like makes your cheeks look so beautifully luminous, but it's not like glittery or shiny. It just makes them look so beautiful, and it's just such a pretty color. I love it. Like, the swatch is not really gonna do it justice, but do you see like how it's more pinky tone than the other blushes that I swatched? But it's, again, not that pinky tone on your cheeks. It kind of, again, warms up to your skin. It's such a unique color. I actually gifted this to my beautiful best friend that passed away last year, unfortunately. But it's a little hard for me to talk about it still, but I did gift this to her a couple of years back. I just gave it to her because I actually bought a set of the blush and the lipstick from Ulta, because I wanted to get the set, and I was like, I'll just give her the blush because I had already ordered the blush online. I didn't order both of the lippies together because it was a little bit expensive because I ordered a ton from that collection. So I was like, I'll just pick up the set from Ulta when it comes in stores. So I just gave her the blush that came in the set because I already had ordered one. I obviously didn't need two. So I just gave it to her, and she was like, you're right about this blush. I literally have worn it every single day since you gave it to me. Like, every time she would wear makeup, she would wear this blush. Because she was, like, one of those people that, like, didn't really change up her blush all that much. Like, she had quite a few eyeshadow palettes, but she only had, like, Rockateur from Benefit. Like, that was her color. That was her shade. But when she started wearing this, she was like, I love it. I was like, I know. It's such a beautiful color, right? So she ended up falling in love with this one, too. Then the next one is also from the Midnight Masquerade collection, and this one is the Tangled one, and this is called Floating Lights. If I could get it open without breaking my nails. How am I going to open this? I forgot. I forgot if I open it from the bottom or the top. Sorry. Let me just grab, because I left this one in the box because I absolutely loved the packaging from this collection. I usually keep the boxes for all of the, like, collections that I think that are just, I just can't part with them, like throwing them away. I think that this collection was so beautifully packaged, obviously, because it's a Disney collection. So this one is the Tangled one for Rapunzel. And this pink is so, so pretty. It's like an icy pink shade. I don't really have any blushes similar to this color in my collection, so I absolutely loved this when I first got it. I still like to wear it from time to time if I need a pink blush that isn't so pink from what I'm wearing today. I love wearing this with like a more subtle tone pinky look, and it's such a again, it's such a gorgeous shade. And again, this one's more of like a muted icy pink. And I absolutely love this one too. It's just such a pretty color. So that is both the Disney ones from the Midnight Masquerade collection. Again, you guys know how much I love this collection. I just love these blushes. They're just so beautiful. So, and then the last two are both pinky tone blushes from ColourPop. I had to mention at least two pinky tone colors because everything I talked about were nude peaches except for the Rapunzel one. So this one I'm actually wearing on my cheeks today, and this is like my favorite hot pink blush in my whole collection. And this one is from the Strawberry Shake collection, and this one is called See You Later. Again, I don't think any of these are actually available anymore. I'm sorry. I think the only one that I'm mentioning that is available still is the last one that I'm going to talk about after this. I'm sorry. So this one is called See You Later, and as you can see, I'm not going to swatch it, but literally the pan speaks for itself, and it's literally that vibrant on your cheeks as it shows up in the pan. It is such a beautiful pink blush. It's like my favorite summer pink blush to wear. And it's just so pigmented and beautiful, and it pairs beautifully with like any pink look that I want to wear it with. So I absolutely love this blush too. And then the last one that kind of like shook me with the formula, because the formula of this is so good. And this one is from the Tutti Frutti collection. So this one is in the shade Swirled, and this is of course the last pressed powder blush I'm going to talk about from ColourPop. But this is just such a pretty pink blush. After like the first time I used it, I fell in love with this color. But also this formula of this one has just such a velvety smooth texture. I don't know why they just don't make all of the blushes like this. And again, the swatch isn't really going to do it justice, but it's such a pretty like pinky peach color, and I wore this quite a few times when I first got it. I just thought it was such a pretty blush on the cheeks. So yeah, this is the only one that's actually available, but again, I just wanted to share my favorite blushes in my collection. Unfortunately, some of them aren't going to be available anymore, but I absolutely love this color. And if you were looking for like something that isn't as pink as what I'm wearing, this is a really pretty one, and it's kind of more of like an everyday pink shade for someone that wants to find something a little bit more toned down. So I absolutely love this one too. So that is all the ColourPop blushes. Now let's move on to my most worn blush in my entire collection, or probably my two most worn blushes that aren't ColourPop. I'm going to talk about both of these brands together because I wear these constantly, like constantly. If I just need a nude tone blush, these are the two that I go for all the time. And that is NARS's Madly and Pat McGrath's Desert Orchid. Let's talk about Madly first because I have mentioned this one like a gajillion times on my channel. This is the only blush that I have in my entire collection that I've actually hit pan on. So that's obviously that you can, how much you can tell how much I love this blush. It's just like the perfect like nude tone blush, but it's not like it makes your cheeks look flat or dead looking because it has some luminosity to it. But again, it's not like glittery. It just makes your cheeks like kind of give some life to them. I got this blush because, I mean, NARS was not cheap back then, and that's when I didn't know that they had like makeup at Marshall's for like a way cheaper price. Like I had no idea. Like I would save up to buy NARS blushes. And the reason why I bought this one is because Kathleen Lights would constantly rave about this blush as being her absolute favorite. So I bought it and it became my favorite blush. Like, obviously, there's probably other blushes I love over this one now, but this is still a staple in my collection, one of my all-time favorites, and every time I wear it, it does not fail me. It's just such a beautiful... NARS knows how to make blushes. Like, it's, like, I'm not really that crazy about some NARS products anymore, but they really just killed it with the blush game, and the undertones and the colors were just so pretty. So that one is NARS's Madly. I'm trying to see if it's similar to... No, it's definitely the more beigey tone one out of the ColourPop ones that I swatched. It's definitely a little bit more beigey tone. It's not as peach tone as the ColourPop ones are. So I absolutely love this blush. I've been talking about that and raving about it for years on my channel. One of my favorites. And then, of course, Pat McGrath Labs. Not everybody was absolutely crazy about these blushes, but let me tell you, I wore these non-stop when I first got them, and this one I probably wore like at least 3 or 4 days in a row. Like, I absolutely love this blush. I could wear this blush every single day of my life and be happy because I absolutely love this color. So this one is Desert Orchid. And this is like a lot of people's favorite one from the Pat McGrath blushes. And the reason why this is so beautiful is like it's more of like a warm tone nude blush. Let me just see it compared to the NARS one. But it's just such a gorgeous blush. And I really love Pat McGrath's formula because it's kind of more of like a silky, velvety matte. It's kind of like a silky velvet blush. It's not even that matte, honestly. And as you can see, this one is Desert Orchid. This one is definitely brighter than NARS's Madly. Again, Madly is kind of like the darkest shade. So this one is Desert Orchid. And this has like kind of like more of like that luminosity to it. But I don't know. You guys just, I love this blush so, so much. Whenever I just need something to go out or go out to dinner or go work, if I don't know what to wear, it's 99% of the time it's going to be this blush because it just looks so beautiful on the skin. I know it's going to go with anything that I decide to wear. What kind of any eyeshadow look that I decide to wear because this is just such a good color. And it's just such a beautiful formula. And it's such a good shade for any look. So I absolutely love this blush as well. And then let's just talk about the other two Pat McGrath blushes that I wear a lot. And the other two are Nude Venus and Divine Rose. So Nude Venus is also, you know, you guys know I love peachy tone blushes, okay? I know I'm not wearing a peach look today. I wanted to wear a pink look today. But this one is Nude Venus. And again, it's just such a gorgeous color. And the reason why this one is such a favorite of mine is because it's not like an orange peach. This is like a peach blush. Like, it's not too orange toned. It's actually like a nude peach kind of color. And again, it has such a unique undertone to it. Like, I don't know what she did with these, but like, just the colors are so gorgeous. So that one is Nude Venus. See how the difference between this one and the ColourPop ones? Again, this one is not, it's not an orangey peach. It's just like a peach tone nudie blush, and I absolutely love it. So this is, again, one of my go-to shades from Pat McGrath. I absolutely love this shade. I wear it with anything, and it goes with everything. So I was wearing Nude Venus and Desert Orchid like on and off nonstop when I first got them because I could not get enough of them because they were just so beautiful on the skin, and they're just such beautiful shades. Okay, and then the last one from Pat McGrath is the shade Divine Rose. I, again, went through a phase with this one. This was just my go-to pink blush when I first got it. This was the only pink blush I would wear if I needed it for a pink look. It was just such a pretty blush, like, because, again, it's kind of more like a muted pinky blush. It's not, like, super pink. It's not, like, too nude toned of a pink. It's just but it's also not too cool tone mauve-y either. It's just such a gorgeous pinky tone. And originally I wasn't going to get this, or maybe I was only going to get the first two that I mentioned. Then I got Flirtatious and this one. Flirtatious I don't really love as much as this one and the other two, so I wasn't going to mention that one because I don't wear that one as often. But again, this one is such a beautiful pink shade, and I don't know how she made something that is this pretty but is not too cool tone, but it's also like not too warm tone either. It's just like a perfect pink shade. Again, absolutely love this color. She just killed it with the undertones of these. Like, obviously, Pat McGrath gonna know makeup. Like, she's amazing. So, I absolutely love this blush as well. So, those are the three Pat McGrath blushes. And then I also wanted to mention these two from NARS because, again, I absolutely love NARS's blushes. So the other one that I've used for a really long time is called Lovejoy, and this one looks a bit darker than the other ones, but it's really not that dark on the cheeks. I know it looks like more of like a terracotta-y brownish kind of shade, but again, it just makes the cheeks come alive. And again, I can wear this with absolutely anything. Madly and Lovejoy were like my two go-to blushes before I started wearing the Pat McGrath blushes all the time. But these two were like my favorite blushes in my collection, and I absolutely love this one too. I forgot why I picked up this one, because I wanted like a different shade, because I didn't want to wear Madly like all the time anymore. Like I was getting a little bit bored of it. It's still a great blush, and I use it when I want to, but like I wanted like a different option, and this one is amazing. And then the last, most recent one I had gotten, and I got this one from Marshalls. Again, it's kind of like a nudie tone blush, but this one's a lot warmer and brighter than the other two, and this one is called Illicit, and I love this one too because it's like a warm tone brown, which I feel like is kind of hard to find because they usually lean towards like more like in between or a little bit more neutral. I love this because it's more of like a warmer tone, light nudie shade, and I absolutely love this color. Again, I wear this with any look, and it looks amazing. So I absolutely love NARS's blushes as well. I'll just swatch this one too. Like, I know I said we weren't going to swatch everything, and here I am swatching half of them for you guys. But I just want you to see the difference between them. This one's definitely lighter than the other ones. And again, it's a little bit more, it's much more muted. So this is a really good, like, toned down everyday blush for someone that doesn't want too much color on the cheeks. I feel like this is kind of the perfect color for you. And I found this one at Marshall's for like, I think like $7.99 or something, super cheap. So check your Marshalls before you go to Sephora and get these, because usually you can find these at Marshalls. So, okay, let's talk about the next batch. All right, so now let's talk about my other most worn blushes in my collection, and that has to be from MAC. So I wanted to talk about these blushes too. So my most worn blush from MAC is definitely Warm Soul, but also the other most worn one that I have is Melba. I actually have decluttered most of my MAC blushes except for these and like two special edition ones that I have from like collections that I loved the packaging from. And then of course I could never get rid of Warm Soul. But Melba is definitely one of my most worn blushes in my entire collection because it's kind of like a, again, warm toned peach, but again, it's more like a muted peach shade. And this one, of course, goes with any look. It's so pretty. And again, it's kind of like that go-to blush when the magnets in here are like kind of fading, you guys. I'm sorry. It's that blush that you just go for if you don't know what to wear. This is like a perfect color. I've worn all of these like so many times. These are all MAC blushes. I'll just run through them really quickly. So we have Spring Sheen, Modern Mandarin. This one is probably the only one I forget the name. Love Cloud, Well Dressed, Melba, Style, Margin, and Harmony. Margin is definitely my other most worn blush. It's kind of like a nudie. Everybody went crazy for this blush for a while, for Melba and for Margin, but they are cult classics for a reason. These are such amazing everyday blush shades. This is like the perfect muted blush for, again, anyone that wants something like super subtle for every day. This is an amazing blush for that. And I like that it's not as like matte as Melba because it has like more of that like luminosity to the skin. So it kind of brings that kind of life to the skin. I also love Modern Mandarin and Style. Style I've also worn a lot. This is also a really beautiful, like, this one's more of an orangey muted peach color. So the Melba, Melba, Style, and Margin are definitely my 3 most worn ones. That's why they're all together in a row. These ones I wear when I can, and I definitely have worn Spring Sheen a ton as well. This one's a little bit more toned down than Melba. You see that it's a lot less orange. I mean, not Melba. Style. But those are my 4 most worn blushes in this palette, and they're all just perfect everyday blushes. And yeah, I absolutely love those. And then the last one from MAC, of course, is Warm Soul. And what's funny is that I did wear this recently, and I wasn't like that obsessed with it anymore. I don't know. I didn't like love it on my skin. I don't know what it was, but this used to be my go-to everyday blush. Again, if I needed something to wear with like a neutral look, this would be the blush I would reach for all the time. And as you guys can see, the like, what do you call it? Like the risen part from the baked formula is pretty much flattened now because that's how much I've used this blush. But again, it's so hard to hit pan on baked blushes, but it's still such a great everyday blush shade, and it's so pretty. And I love that it has that baked formula because, again, it kind of adds a little bit of extra life to the skin. So I absolutely recommend Warm Soul. I'm pretty sure all of these MAC blushes are still available because they're all like cult classics, and I feel like people would get upset if they tried to discontinue them, but correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so besides ColourPop, I have one more affordable option to share with you guys. I have drugstore blushes, but honestly, nobody does blushes better from the drugstore. I mean, I love the Flower Beauty blushes, but this one has definitely been a favorite of a lot of people for a long time. But I feel like Milani does the best drugstore products. They just kill it. And the blush that I'm going to mention is a cult classic favorite, and a lot of people love this blush, is Milani's Baked Blush in Luminoso. I know people have heard about this blush probably a million times, but it's such a gorgeous blush, you guys. They have such an amazing killer baked formula. I don't know what they put in it, but every time you put it on your cheeks, it is called Luminoso because it adds like this, again, beautiful luminosity to your cheeks. And it's like a golden orangey shade. And it's literally so pretty. And it's like a orangey baked color. It's like an orangey glowy color. And it's just so, so pretty. And I love it. It's just gorgeous on the skin. And again, it's just such a cult classic for a reason. And these are pretty affordable. Like, you know, they're from the drugstore. I would recommend any Milani blush, honestly, because they're all gorgeous. I really wish I had a couple more shades in their blushes, but I have so many blushes in my collection. I'm trying to slow down with my blushes right now. So I haven't gotten that many blushes since I got the Hello Kitty one and the Limoncello one from ColourPop like last month. So I've been on a no-buy for blushes for a little while, but this blush is amazing. And again, I highly recommend any blush from Milani. They have amazing blushes, but this one is the one because so many people love this blush, but it really is true why people love it. It's a gorgeous blush on the skin. Okay, guys, sorry. I'm back to film the rest of my favorite blushes video because my mom wanted to watch a show with me last night, so I didn't want to make her wait. So I didn't have any set plans today. I actually went to the train station to see if I could get a refund for that train ticket I didn't use. And then I tried to Uber, but I didn't get any good trips from 2 to 3 o'clock, so I just gave up and went home because I was tired because my mom wanted to go to the mall with me, and me and my mom haven't went shopping together in quite a while. So I came home, ate lunch, and then we went to the mall. But I did stop by Ulta, and I picked up 2 blushes. but I picked up mini sizes, and you guys will see that in my next haul video. I'm not going to share them right now. So let's just go ahead and finish up my favorite blushes. So I forgot to mention this one from ColourPop that I'm wearing right now, and I don't know how I forgot this one, but this is also one that I wear a ton, especially in the spring and summertime, because I love this color on me. So this one is from the Wild Nothing collection, and this one is called Wayfarer. And this one is such a pretty, again, orangey peach color, but again, it has a little bit of that luminosity to it. I'm kind of seeing a bit of like the integration of the pan, but it's such a perfect peach blush. Again, you guys know I love these kind of colors. And again, I'm wearing this one on my cheeks right now, and it's just such a pretty everyday peachy shade for my skin, and I absolutely love this color. And again, this is one that I reach for all the time when I don't know what blush to wear. This one is always a solid choice because it goes with literally anything. And I just love the formula of this one. I feel like I have not tried another one that has been quite like this formula from ColourPop. This one was a solid one, and I really do like this one. It has like a very different texture from some of their other blushes. Like, it's not powdery. It almost feels like a Super Shock, but in pressed powder form. It's not that creamy, but it's kind of similar to that texture. It kind of feels like a matte Super Shock, but it has like a luminosity to it. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly, but I love it. It's such a great everyday blush. So I love that one. Also, I wanted to mention these two because I've been absolutely obsessed with these since I've gotten them. They are so, so good, and I feel like they're very underrated. And I wanted to talk about the Kat Von D Everlasting Blushes. I believe that she had these in a previous formula, like back when it wasn't owned by Kat Von D. This is obviously not owned by Kat Von D anymore. This is KVD Beauty, so it is different because after all the drama and everything that happened with with Kat Von D. But she did have Everlasting blushes in her original line, and I did have one of the shades. I think I just decluttered it because it got too old. I should have sold it on Poshmark, but it was one of the best blushes that I ever had in my collection because it lasted forever on the skin. That's why they were called Everlasting blushes. Like, it was one of my most long-lasting blushes ever. So these ones were the newer, updated version, and I absolutely love these. These are so wonderful because I love the texture of these and the velvety smooth feeling. This one is the shade Honeysuckle, and I again love this shade as an everyday shade. I wear this one a ton. Again, when I don't know what blush to wear, this goes with absolutely any look. And this one is a super, super soft shade, and I absolutely love this color. And this one is a really, really nice blush too. And it's kind of like an orangey nude shade. It's so, so pretty. And again, this one is great for every day, and I wear it with like anything. So I really love this blush as well. So really like this one. And then the other one is called Rosebud, and I went through a phase with this one as well for a little while because this one is a gorgeous pinky tone, cool toned mauve blush shade. And this one I got because of Debbie Tone. She raved about this color, and I ended up picking it up because they were on sale during the time of the Sephora VIB sale, I believe last spring. So I think I've had these for a year already, and they were on sale plus the 20% off, because whenever something's on sale at Sephora, you can apply the VIB discount to anything and you still get that discount too. So these were only like $10 or $11 each when I got them. So they were such a good price. So I got both shades, and I love both of them so much. I originally was only going to get Honeysuckle, but then Debbie kept on raving about Rosebud, and I'm like, they're both amazing. They just have an amazing velvety smooth texture on the skin, and they're super, super soft, and I absolutely love these. So had to mention these because I wear these a lot too. And then the other ones that I wear a ton, I don't think you can get these anymore, but I wear these a lot too, or when I want to wear something that I haven't worn in a while, I'll reach for these because, again, these are great everyday blush shades too. And I'm talking about, unfortunately, again, you can't get these anymore. I don't know why Urban Decay won't relaunch blushes in their line, because I absolutely loved the Afterglow blushes that they came out with. I don't know why they don't come out with new ones. These are so good. Some people didn't love this formula. I absolutely was obsessed with it. So this is the Urban Decay Afterglow 8-Hour Powder Blushes. And this one's in the shade Video. And again, this is just a perfect everyday shade for me. I, again, love the formula of these. They're really super smooth on the skin. And again, this one is such a good everyday shade. I love it. It's just such a beautiful, like, muted nude tone shade, but it's a very unique color. I don't really have any other blush that's really quite like this shade. It's just such a pretty, like, almost pinky tone nude shade, and I absolutely love it. And then the other one that I love is called Kinky, and this one is like a really beautiful warm tone nude shade again, and this one's a little bit more luminous and a little bit more peachy toned. But again, I absolutely love these, and I don't know how many times I could say that in this video, but I really do love both of these shades a ton. And I used to wear these a lot, and I still reach for them when I can because I really do enjoy the formula of these. They never let me down. They always look good. So I absolutely love those too. And then another one that I loved for a while. I haven't worn it in a while, but this was one of my favorite blushes for a long time too. And this one is the Marc Jacobs Air Blush in the shade Flesh and Fantasy. A lot of people talked about this blush when it first came out, and this blush is so beautiful on the skin. I believe you can find these at Marshall's for like half price because Marc Jacobs discontinued all of his packaging and he's no longer, I believe, in Sephora's, but I think he's going to be rebranding. Like, they said that people thought that he was closing down for good, but I was like, that's crazy. It's Marc Jacobs. But this is such a beautiful nude tone blush on the skin, and I kind of just swirl it all together. And again, it's such a beautiful blush. I think this was one of Kathleen Light's favorite blushes for a while, and again, that's why I picked up this one, because she raved about this. I think that she said that this had replaced her Madly blush, so I knew I had to get this one. I got this one like years ago from a Sephora VIB sale, and this is still a gorgeous blush on the skin, and I really love wearing this for, like, again, when I don't know what blush to wear. I whip it out from time to time, not as often as the other blushes that I mentioned, but I love it. So, and then the other two that I went through a phase for a while that I was just switching on and off between these two, like, nonstop. I didn't think I was going to love both of these so much, but I really do love these for my skin tone. So the first one is by Makeup by Mario, and this one is in this shade Creamy Peach. Oh my god, this is such a gorgeous peach blush. This one is a little bit more vibrant than the other ones that I mentioned, but it's just such a gorgeous color. And I really love this for the spring and summer because, again, it's a more of a vibrant blush tone. Peachy shade, and look at that. It's just so pretty. And again, his texture and his formula is just so soft and smooth on the skin, and I absolutely love this one. So this one is beautiful on the skin as well, and I really love this shade. And then the other one is from Laura Mercier, and this is one of the blush color infusion blushes, and I have the shade Bellini. This is when I just went through a phase where I wanted to try some other blush formulas, and I wanted some peach tone blushes that I would wear every day, and I really love these two. I also got the Lawless blush. I like that one, but I wear these two way more often, and again, it's just a great everyday peach toned blush shade for me for every day. This one is a lot lighter than the Marc Jacobs, but oh, it's such a beautiful peach shade. I feel like this is such a beautiful shade for a lot of different skin tones. And this is a great everyday shade, and I feel like it's a great flattering shade on multiple different women and men or anyone who wants to wear makeup. And then the last ones I wanted to mention, these are the newest blushes to my collection, but I already love these so much, and I wanted to mention the Give Me Glow blushes. I have 3 of them, but these are the 2 I've been wearing the most. I also love the pink tone, but I really love these 2 so much. Again, this formula reminds me a lot of the KVD blushes. I think that they're very similar because they have that super smooth velvety texture, but they're also so pigmented, but they're not like insanely pigmented that like you can't build them up. They're not like instant pigment. Like you build these and they're just so beautiful on the skin, and I love them. So this one is One in a Melon. Obviously, my perfect everyday peach shade. Again, what else is new? But I really love this one, and they are just so velvety smooth on the skin, and it has such a beautiful peach undertone to it. And this one, again, is a little bit more vibrant. It's kind of similar to the Marc Jacobs one. Marc Jacobs, Makeup by Mario. But the Makeup by Mario is a little bit lighter. This one's a little bit more of a deeper orangey shade, and it's just gorgeous. I love this so much, especially for the summertime. And then this one is more of a vibrant orange shade, and this one is called Havana Cabana. Oh, it's so nice, and I love it. And this one is also a beautiful blush for me. And I've been wearing these quite a bit since I've gotten them, and I already have fallen in love with them, so I had to mention these ones too. I knew I was going to love them, but I didn't think the formula was going to be this good because I didn't hear anybody talk about these, and I'm like, people are sleeping on these because these are amazing. Like, Give Me Glow just... They took a long time to come out with these. I think that's why people kind of lost interest with them. But trust me, do not sleep on these. These are fantastic. I love the formula, and I don't think you'll be disappointed because I have been recommending Give Me Glow for years now. They had some drama, but I feel like they did some good damage control with that. And I gave the brand a chance again, and I think they're coming back strong, and I think that their products are still beautiful. So yeah, those are all my favorite blushes in my collection. Have you tried any of these blushes? Which one's your favorite? Do you want me to go more in depth with any of them? But I think I covered all the ones that I really love. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. I am very, very tired. So I'm going to take this time for myself now. I got to put some stuff away still, but honestly, I think I'm just too tired now. So I think I'm just going to chill out for the rest of the day. We're going to have dinner. Then I'm just going to chill. So yeah, I love you guys, and let me know which one was your favorite blush. Have you tried any of them? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Bye!